Welcome to Agenda Edina, a news program summarizing the actions taken at City Hall that affect you most. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty. Bicyclists will soon be able to ride for miles across the southern metro. Construction of 9 Mile Creek Regional Trail through Edina has begun. Three Rivers Park District recently held a groundbreaking ceremony for the project. When complete, the 15-mile regional trail will span the cities of Hopkins, Minnetonka, Edina, Richfield, Bloomington, and connect to the LRTs near Lake Minnetonka, Minnesota River Bluffs, and Cedar Lake. It will also connect to North Cedar Lake and intercity regional trails, as well as the planned Minnesota River State Trail, Dakota County Big Rivers Regional Trail, Minnesota Valley National Wildlife Refuge, Bloomington Visitor Center, and Fort Snelling State Park. While significant portions of the regional trail in Hopkins, Minnetonka, Richfield, and Bloomington are in place, there are missing segments or segments that do not meet the regional trail standards. The largest gap in the regional trail corridor has been through Edina.
When you think about recreational activities, either walking or biking, getting off-road with your family, with your kids, to be able to give them a great bike ride, or to walk or run yourself, this is going to be an extraordinary benefit in our town. You're going to go from an urban setting through commercial, industrial, across bridges, into parks, across marshland, along a beautiful creek bed that no one ever sees. It's going to be, I think, quite an extraordinary experience for people, no matter where they're from.
Construction of the east half is scheduled to be complete next year, with the entire trail complete by early 2018. Taprooms, brewpubs, and cocktail rooms will soon be allowed in Edina. A new liquor ordinance, which includes provisions for them, goes into effect January 1st. Taprooms and cocktail rooms are only allowed in industrial-zoned areas. Brewpubs are allowed in areas zoned commercial and mixed development because they have a restaurant component. Examples of brewpubs are Granite City or the Urban Growler. Taprooms are only allowed to serve beers brewed on site, but could have a non-permanent food truck outside.
We're a little bit on the tail end of this. There's a lot of these all across the Twin Cities, but I wouldn't be surprised if a brewer comes into town and puts the Edina name to it, and I would imagine that would be pretty successful here.
The new liquor laws go into effect January 1st. 50 years ago, Edina kids traveled to Minneapolis if they wanted an arena for figure skating or playing hockey. Today, Edina has one of the premier facilities for ice sports and more in the upper Midwest. Photojournalist Matt Koskinen and I did a little digging to bring you a look back and a peek ahead at Braemar Arena. In the early 1960s, former Director of Parks and Rec, Bob Coteen, saw a great need in Edina and led the effort to build a facility for hockey and figure skating.
We worked for almost 2.5 years, and then in 2 weeks we were all approved, the council approved it, and we went to work on building it.
From the start, Braemar Arena has had a big impact on the community. Former boys hockey coach Willard Icola says just getting out of the bitter cold did wonders for the players.
Once Braemar was built, I think the next 8 years we got in the state tournament, so that shows the importance of this facility to us.
Braemar Arena also attracted many families to live in Edina, including a legendary National Hockey League defenseman, general manager, and Hall of Famer.
Well, the reason I'm in Edina is because of Braemar Arena. When I was buying my first home, I had, at that time, 3 young kids. Our fourth wasn't here yet, and I wanted my kids to have the opportunity to play hockey and get out and skate as often as they could. And Braemar was one of the first facilities in the Twin City areas.
Back then, hockey was only played by boys and ran just 4 to 6 months of the year. Figure skating, however, went year-round, and when brought to Braemar, was a huge success. Jean Pastor was one of the women who brought in what became the Braemar City of Lakes Figure Skating Club.
When we started here, and it was actually 1965 in December, with our students, we had that next year quite a few national competitors, and it was just the West Arena that we're sitting in right now.
And the busy arena just kept growing.
Of course, we just had the one rink when we first started, and then we built the addition on here that they would use during the summer. They'd open up the sides. They wouldn't have ice in it, but they, for recreation, for the park board. And then later on, we got the other, they enclosed that one and built the south ring.
The community is what really supports it, the parents and everyone, and the coaches in figure skating and the coaches in hockey are the best of the best.
When girls hockey began, that program too exploded.
And it's become really the centerpiece for hockey in the western suburbs. And we are very proud of this facility, and we are very happy of the kind of hockey we've had here and the kids that it's turned out, not only for high schools, colleges, but also for pros.
And as Braemar General Manager Susie Miller explains, the more recent improvements have kept Braemar at the top.
Really, in the past 4 years, we've invested almost $17 million in construction on site. The improvements with the Hornets Nest, the high school locker rooms, and the public-private partnership with Velocity and General Sports has really brought a lot more action here as far as just Velocity alone purchasing additional ice. We also have just the excitement around that project brought a lot of people back to the arena.
It just goes to show, some things really do get better with age. Braemar's 50th anniversary event will take place on Saturday, December 5th, and will include on-ice experiences, vendor tables, and photo displays. Find out more about it at www.braemararena.com. Thanks for watching this episode of Agenda Edina. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty.